You can see us then.
It's John and Peter, Peter and John, and the Two-Sided Podcast. Pete and John and Pete and the Two-Sided Podcast. Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, live on stereo. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And another thing with Dave. John L. Peacock, how you doing, brother? Folks, we are the Two-Sided Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for playing with us. I don't know where I'm going with that. Every Thursday, here live on the Stereo Streets and live on the YouTubes. If you're watching us now, it's too late for you. You need to go back. You can't win from here. Sorry. If you can't catch us live on Tuesdays or Thursdays, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Pod, Amazon Music, or our YouTube channel. And our handle is @2sidedpod. All one word, all lowercase. @2sidedpod. Ain't that right, John?
That's right, buddy. That's right. @2sidedpod, all one word, all lowercase. Look at him go. Evolution of a my boy Pete.
He can be taught. Don't get your hopes up, John. I'm not learning anything else for the next 5 years.
This is it, buddy. This is it.
You put all your eggs in this basket. In a marketing basket, John. In a handle basket, John. Well, if we're going to be walking for a long time, I prefer my baskets to be handled. Anyway. Right?
Cheers, buddy. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, pal. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Bink, bink.
Okay. Mm.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, that was left out. That's hot. Yeah. That is hot booze.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one, John. Shots are up. I need to chill this or do something.
Yeah, you need to ice that one down.
I can put it on my heart. My black heart that feeds on hate and coldness. Nope. I'm in a show. I don't have time to do that. Oh, sure. Okay. Ready.
All right. Let's get this message and then get into the show. You know, we're both busy men.
Right? Scholarly. Right? She's a horrible person. I'm Joe Exotic all the way. Team Joe.
That's right.
All right. Did you watch those series?
I learned about them through you. I viscerally listened and learned through your updates, your weekly updates.
Oh, that's right. When I was doing the whole performance art thing, it was a crazy time during the lockdown. I did a lot of weird shit, bro.
Well, speaking of doing weird stuff, well, howdy.
I would say it would be more acceptable if you would come up with that song and dance during the lockdown, but you did it way before that. Like, you have no excuse, John. No excuse.
I'm John L. Peacock, normally out in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm my boy Pete, normally in a much more inebriated state of mind and being, but I'm pretty good right now in Southern California.
And you're listening to Two-Sided, a live recorded podcast where each week I challenge Pete with a bit of the two sides of life, the serious and the fun.
Yeah, John, the you and the me, the work, and let's party all night. At least until like 12:30. I like to get up early, start partying early, baby. Woo! The yin and the yang, the ebb and the flow, the push and the pull, the give and the take, John. You know the rest.
That's right. Well, I normally in Brooklyn, but right now I'm coming to you live from right around Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on a nice little vacation. It's been fantastic.
That's awesome. It's a time of year for vacations. It's too hot, too damn hot to be anywhere else. You got to be by the water.
Yep.
It's hot and it's wet. And it's good when you're with a woman, but not when you're with the jungle.
So let's start with a general check-in. Hey, my boy Pete, how you feeling? In one word, how you feeling?
Groovy.
That's far out, man. That's right on.
Right on, bro. Don't harsh my mellow, man.
That's right. Hey, let's hit these messages and jump into the show.
Let's do it. Yeah. Granted, they came out with the behind the scenes Tiger King in 22, so you're not far off. It bleeds into itself. It's hard to differentiate. I'd rather take a basket of handles than a Carol Baskin. I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, then let's jump right into our first lightning round.
Lightning round! It's time to get down. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah! Whoa! What's up, John? How you doing, man?
Woo! I'm doing pretty great. It's been a little while, my friend. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I had the house to myself for a whole week. It was awesome. I got to read, and I did a ship in a bottle. It was very, very calm.
What did you read?
The Anarchist's Cookbook.
That's a good one.
Salmon Rushdy's Satanic Chronicles.
Another good one. I think a couple fatwas came out of those publications.
That's what I said. I want to get a fatwa one day. Anyway, you guys, I hope you have a great show. I'll check you later. Bye.
Bye. Lightning round guy. Well, anybody who's anybody. No, I gotta say, man. Like, I think the week off did him well. He was looking good.
Yeah, everyone seems more relaxed when you get to be out of the house for a little bit. When you get a little alone time, a little space. It does the body good. It does the soul wonders.
Yeah. Well, anybody who's anybody knows that the first lightning round of the episode is always a standard Q&A. My boy Pete, are you ready for the questions?
Yes, my good sir, I am ready.
Fantastic. This is going to be a fast one. Okay, my boy Pete, what is your favorite law? Your favorite law?
Attraction. The law of attraction.
Very good. My boy Pete, what is your least favorite law? Your least favorite law?
Well, the one they say you can't urinate in public. Man, where there's a tree, you should be able to pee, baby.
Where there's a tree, there's a way.
Saying, the world is your urinal if you put your mind to it.
My boy Pete, what law would you put on the books, and how reaching would this law be?
I would say if you park in front of a house, you have to get out of the car within 2 minutes. No, fuck that. 1 minute. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves, and I can't stand, is when you see people pull up and like, who's that? Are they coming in? Are they going there? Is that for me? Is that for you? Am I delivering something? Am I getting something? What is this? What's happening? Are they living there? What are they doing? And they get out of the car slowly and then walk. Just one's like, what the fuck were you doing in your car? You're on the phone? Are you just gathering your fucking thoughts? Get out of the car and get out. Far-reaching, worldwide, day one. I'm campaigning on this fucking law. Law and order. That's what they say. My boy Pete, he's the law and order guy. He's the no parking. Unless you have someone in there and you're either like doing drugs or finishing a cocktail before you go to a concert or making out or having sex. Like it's one of the things. But if you're just sitting there like a fucking psychopath, who sits in a car like a psychopath? You've got kicked out and you have nowhere to go. Go park in a parking lot of Thrifties or Walmart like a goddamn human. Right over there. Nobody needs it near the goddamn streets. That's the problem in society, John. That's the problem. Folks, and if you like what you've heard, you can't believe that I'm actually getting this far in the primaries. My poll numbers are way up.
Except for in Brooklyn, because that's actually part of their culture.
I know. We're going to get them, though. That's why the purge, when we're doing the purge, like, we're going to start with the island. Do the whole island of Manhattan. And then we slow it from there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Final question, my boy Pete. What law would you eradicate? Not just from being, but from ever having been?
Oh, come on, John. Come on, man. There's like been so many horrible laws and things there. But I would say prohibition. Never has been, never. You want to say that the owning of another human, yes, but you're going to go there and like, John, I don't want to go down that road with you tonight. 100% that all the laws we passed, the Jim Crow and the 3/5 and all that BS shit, yeah, those would be the one. That would be the one. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I was just trying to lead you astray and go down the other. Like, come on, John, just say it's about prohibition. Just say we're not going to have this talk tonight. Oh, you get me into trouble because I start yelling about things.
Well, I like the prohibition one because I assume you mean prohibition of anything. And so,
yes.
Yeah, right. As a current law of prohibition against, most narcotics, blah, 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 alcohol to some extent still to this day, dry counties, dry days, et cetera, eradicating all of that heals the world. It makes it a better place.
It really does. It really does. Middle East would be a lot more loosened up.
Yeah. Ooh.
So Utah, all the religious cultures, they all turn into Catholics like fucking Rome. Hey, what's the way? Come look at my God. Yeah, prego.
Now, wait, are you saying that you're just going to be forcing liquor down people's throats or just allowing them to drink?
No, it's allowing. I'm forcing you out of your car. What you do after you get out of your car.
Finish that cocktail, do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's going to be a rule. Car is safe, but you got to get out of it in less than a minute. Shit, cops are coming. Drink everything. Cops can't even look at your car. They don't mess with you. They're out of your car. They can time you, but they're not. They'll break a window and pull you up. That's what
right. Look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. That's a fact. Look it up.
Well, we got one message. I think we got one shot to do, and we're going to jump into our first segment.
Oh my God. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's fantastic. That's just I was like, after he left that message, he left. I'm like, did we really break him? Fuck, man. Fuck. Stop looking that way. I know.
I think that definitely deserves a shot.
I think that definitely deserves a shot. I didn't have a drinking problem already. The show would drive me to it. All right, buddy. Raise your glasses. Raise your spirits. Bing, bing, bing.
Cheers, everybody. You're welcome for listening.
All right, Chief. Oof. Oof. All right, Chief. Oof.
Well, so we are going to talk about the Supreme Court. This is our second segment on the Supreme Court.
Okay. I was hoping it would be like Taco Supreme. Then we'd get like, let's go ahead and do a segment set on just all the Supremes. We're going to talk about the Supremes.
Night Court.
Night Court. If you like Judge Harry and Bull and Roz, well, we got a show for you.
These kooky cast of characters.
Okay. John's a magician.
Not a good one.
No. No, I can't say like, no. I'm a borderline sexual predator. Like, damn, no. I'm an aggressive, no nonsense, old smoking lady. Like Roz, no. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, that's the closest you are.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So before, in previous episodes, we talked about the Supreme Court's history, its ups and its downs, and why it is unique among the branches of federal government. Today, we will simply look at the terms decisions that came out of the Supreme Court before they adjourned for the summer. Because they're now on summer vacation, they won't begin hearing cases again until the fall. But they definitely left with a bang.
Spring break. All the judges pull off their robes. They're wearing bikinis and board shorts. Woo! Come on, Sotomayor. Let's do a beer bong. Hell yeah.
Hey, when they're on vacation, they're on vacation.
Damn straight, John. I don't think you should hold that against anyone ever. I think you should always.
No.
If everyone is human, everyone is fallible. You need to be able to cut loose and decompress and like really live a fun life at some point. Everyone does. Doesn't matter what your job is. Maybe your vacation has to be a little bit shorter. Maybe you have to be fucking close to the phone or something. But you get you get a break. Ooh.
Well, let's start with my hand hurts. Let's start with when the court could all agree. On May 18th.
I was going to say, I thought we were going to start with your hand. Well, John, when did it start? And how does the pain feel? Describe it on a scale of 1 to stupid.
It's actually kind of more stupid than anything because I realize why it hurts. So I like hot sauce, if people don't know that. And there's a scorpion hot sauce that I keep with me when I travel. And I was putting it on my hand and licking it off because I had nothing to put it on. So I was just like, no, just have some hot sauce. And I realized it's where I put the hot sauce.
Burning your
like 5 times. Yeah.
You're a damn idiot. I love you.
Anyway.
You want to go to the bathroom and do some bumps? Fuck yeah. Of hot sauce? No, man. Cool. I didn't want to go to the bathroom anyway. We'll do it at the table where the food is. Here you go.
Get in there.
Come on, get in there. Even you out. Get this side. Here you go.
You better do it, man. I get stingy once the second course comes.
Right? Well, hey, this baggy's getting a little low. This baggy of hot sauce. You should really carry it around in a little tiny bag. Anybody want to get crazy at dinner tonight?
I call them scorpion snacks.
Oh yeah, look at this. Everybody needs for this. Oh yeah. So dumb.
Anyway, where were we? On May 18th.
Back to the Supreme Court. Come on, guys. You gotta focus. Back when we were all in agreement.
Yeah, right. The court all came together to rule 9-0 that internet platforms may not be sued for aiding and abetting international terrorism by failing to remove videos supporting the Islamic State. They all supported that one.
Nice. We got to open up the internet company, John. Sounds like that's an easy pass, buddy.
Yeah, no more lawsuits. We're good. I guess that includes us, right? If somehow a video gets onto our platform and we fail to remove it quickly.
100%. That's how the fatwa comes, John. It's all coming full fatwa circle. Oh.
That day, the court also simply sidestepped ruling on whether a law that protects social media platforms from lawsuits shields YouTube from a suit over video supporting terrorism. They unanimously agreed to not vote.
We decline to hit the like, subscribe, and alert buttons.
We're not saying we don't like or subscribe or want alerts. We're just declining to hit those buttons.
Right? We may still watch. We probably will. But it will be on our terms when no one is around. Good day.
One more where everyone agreed. This is at the end of June. At the end of June, just before they adjourned, they went 9-0 vote to broaden accommodations that employers must make for workers' religious practices, siding with a postal worker who was disciplined for refusing to work on Sundays for religious reasons. Because, who doesn't love freedom of religion?
Right? We do. We love it. We're definitely supportive of all that.
Yeah.
Definitely don't discriminate. Definitely.
7-2 votes came out ruling that Andy Warhol had improperly licensed a prominent photographer's portrait of Prince for an image of the musician that his estate licensed to a magazine.
Huh. That's fucking crazy, John. That's fucking crazy. That case made it to the Supreme Court. You know what? We'll hear Prince versus Warhol. This is going to be awesome, you guys. Right before we go on summer break. Fuck yeah, we'll have something to talk about when we're doing cake stands. So crazy. Because the Supreme Court can decline to hear things. Like, they'll be like, not juicy enough. Bring Prince and Warhol to the Hall of Justice. So we adjourn to the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Cart in a couple of bags of bones. So it's essentially the estates that are bickering about it, right? Because both these people are dead. But the photographer gets money now from Warhol's art piece that uses Prince in it.
Right.
That's what happens.
It's that whole perpetuity thing of who gets ownership and did you sell your rights to the image, and if so, are you entitled to said payments in perpetuity? Yea, so it was written. Yea, so it shall be done. I didn't get a harumph out of you.
Harumph. So these last decisions at the end of June, right before they adjourned, they were, just as they were stepping out for the summer, they turned a bit partisan on political terms. And this is what we're going to talk about. So they just finished issuing the biggest decision of the term, which killed President Joe Biden's $400 billion dollar plan to cancel or reduce federal student loan debts. They also ended affirmative action in higher education, and a major decision that impacts gay rights.
Yeah, the gay rights and the affirmative action are kind of fucked up. The way you said it was such a good long pause. And they killed the president. They what? John! I have not been watching the news. The bill. Dude. Gotcha. I don't know, man. Student loan debt, it's a motherfucker. But at the same time, I think, it'll make life easier and more palatable for a lot of us. But I think it's more important the gay rights and affirmative action.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, man. It's just like that one didn't hit me as hard.
Well, yeah, both of them. Yeah, okay. So we'll get to it. These two decisions that you're talking about, affirmative action and that affecting gay rights, have been widely panned by civil rights groups, universities, and liberal organizations, among others, for manipulating legal doctrine and relying on the revisionist history of the constitutional and civil rights movements, all in an apparent effort to enact right-wing policy preferences.
Yeah, it's a little too. Some of the stuff that's happening is a little too out in the open. Like, oh my God, it's like a playbook. And it's a little disheartening when you see it slowly coming to happen to fruition, just like woof, woof, woof. Disconcerting.
We already see a cultural shift from the norm of 40 plus years in America with the nixing of affirmative action in higher education, but has had a chilling effect on DEI efforts in the business world, where employers often take cues from schools they recruit from.
Right. Right. So, it's the beginning of a culture shift.
Yeah.
Small ripple stream becomes a tidal wave soon enough. John. I don't like it. I've been watching a lot of Witcher lately on Netflix. It kind of reminds me of like, these are signs of bad things to come, omens. But where do these bad creatures come from? When worlds collide, John. When worlds collide.
Well, we see the mirroring of the outrage from these groups within the Supreme Court itself, as several sitting Supreme Court justices, the court's liberals, indicated that they agree with the increasing criticism of the current court, including concerns about the erosion of the Supreme Court's fundamental legitimacy as a policy-making institution.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Once you start talking bad about the family, then you're causing infighting in the family, and everyone's going to start talking shit outside the family. And you're already going bad. You're on a bad foot with all the publicity and shit they've been getting.
Yeah.
Anyway, on their personal lives, on their own personal things. Oof, man, it's a rough one. It's an uphill battle. That's why when we're in the church of the two-sided, we're going to have our own laws and our own rules. We won't need court systems like this. It'll be a simple tribunal. I'll listen to everyone's thoughts and needs, and then we'll cut the baby in half. No. No, you go.
Okay. The New York Times sums up that John Roberts, for the Biden Aid Act, nixing that. Roberts was the one who wrote the majority opinion and said that he was doing it because of he used the major questions doctrine that can overrule executive agencies if he believes that it implicates questions of major political and economic significance that would need in clear congressional direction. So you're saying, well, you didn't get the Congress, and this is big enough that I'm going to say as a Supreme Court. But so that was him. Justice Kagan's dissent was really the most striking thing about this, because which had never been done before. All right, quote. She didn't just challenge the Chief Justice's reasoning, but she also questioned whether the court's decision was even constitutional. Quote, from the first page to the last, today's opinion departs from the demands of the justice restraint, Kagan wrote. At the behest of a party that has suffered no injury, the majority decides a contested public policy issue properly belonging to the politically accountable branches and the people they represent.
Damn, I didn't see that coming from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how'd she vote on the others?
She voted basically along the liberal lines. Yeah. Her conclusion was, she says, the court, quote, exercises authority it does not have. It violates the Constitution. That was the end of her dissent.
Jesus. You guys are all a bunch of fuckers. Y'all are fuckers. Baba booey, Baba booey. Howard Stern's Baba booey.
Well, you know what's crazy about this one is that Mississippi sued President Biden, and that's the case that they were seeing before the Supreme Court, right? But they couldn't sue Biden directly because there was no harm actually happening to the state of Mississippi. So the state of Mississippi had to sue on behalf of the revenue department within their state government. So they weren't even suing for themselves because there was no harm done to them. And yet, that was the one that got, yeah.
See, but now it's just, that's why there's so little faith in the court systems. There was previously not much because it was so weighted unjustly a lot of the times. And now it's the whole thing of just peppering the system. You're going to try as many things as you can. Keep just one will hit. Let's just keep the courts going, because that's one of many that went through from a lot of states to challenge that bill. So there was a lot that came through. But yeah, all it takes is one, man.
Yeah. But it's the one where they couldn't even sue for themselves. They couldn't even sue for themselves.
Well, that's the whole thing, John. It's like the Partridge Family. Mom and dad, they can't make it anymore, right? So you raise all these fucking kids, put them in a bus, take them around the country. One of them has got to make it. Only one. And then you'll have a show, John. Turns out we had a show. I don't know. Just saying.
Well, do you know like the specifics of the case
Partridge
that
Family?
affects gay rights? Yes, exactly.
I was like, well, John, I'm glad you asked. No, I don't.
A woman in Kansas who was a graphic designer said that she was asked by I think it was Steve and Mike to make a web page for their wedding, and they're out of San Francisco. And she said that she didn't feel right doing that, being religious, and that's the case that went to the Supreme Court. Well, Steve, their names have to be on the official paperwork. The person that she was saying was with Mike, and they wanted to hire her to create a website for their wedding, for their same-sex wedding. Is a web page designer himself. He lives in another state. She's never designed a web page for marriages, and he's also married to a woman and has kids. Mike doesn't exist.
See, all we're looking for is a way. Just let me jump and play with the fire a little bit until someone jumps up and burns. That's not a good analogy, but holy shit, John, that's crazy. I'm looking for shit now. Come on, who wants to fight me in the court system? Back in the good old days, we'd get drunk, take our shirts off, go to the alley, look for a fight. Now we have to go through the internet. You have to catfish someone to get a court case. John. What a silly little web we weave.
So they knew by that point that the case that she brought up against these people was not a legitimate case because they never asked her to do it. They're not getting married, and one of them isn't real, but they still saw it and voted on it as a hypothetical. They're like, yeah, you know what? But what if someone does do this?
Dude, that is okay. That is so fucked. There's a whole precedent that's been happening across the U.S. and there was a documentary on it where they're using rap lyrics to try people for crimes. Either they are admitting that they did it in the rap lyrics or they're planning to do it. And there's been people who have been arrested. But our court system's so fucked up that it didn't happen to Queen. Mom just killed a man put a gun against his head. Like, oh, that's great music.
Shot a man in Reno.
Right. Shot a man in Reno. Now it's like, yeah. Nobody moved, nobody get hurt. Like there's a couple guys who went to jail because they were affiliated with the gang, and they did a RICO enforcement, and they said these guys, their rap lyrics were about crimes that they were trying to admit to or claim things for. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Oh, wow. That's like straw man. It's like it's a logical fallacy. Like it is bad debating.
Right? I can't even argue with you fucking people. You know how much I like to argue, John. That's what I want to. I want to be in a three-way, but not like a sexual three-way. I just want to get with a couple and argue with them. Like when they're arguing about rent or something, I want to get in the middle. I'm like, fuck yeah, you don't buy shit, Dave. And you don't clean either. I just want to really get in there and like, they can yell at me, I can yell at them. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's the best three-way you'll ever be in.
Weird key party you invited me to. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted the arguments. They're down the hall. This is the orgy.
Now, a lot of these, unfortunately, were expected because it's now expected for the court to vote just down political lines. But it did not always do so, as a couple of as much as a couple politicians and pundits had expected. On voting rights, for example, the justices rejected a Republican-led effort to weaken a landmark voting rights law. Instead, they ruled in favor of black voters in Alabama in a congressional redistricting case.
That's good. They can't get away with it all. Was it unanimous?
It was 7-2.
Okay,
No, I'm sorry. Oh, it was worse than that. It was 5-4. Justice Roberts and Brett Kavanaugh were the ones who joined the court. 3 liberals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So in Alabama, where more than 1 in 4 voters is black, they will now have to redraw the congressional districts in a way that gives black voters more power. Because there are basically any areas they would like, that's one district. That's it. Everyone who's black at that area, 1 district.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is just that, I don't know, the way they do districts, the way they do gerrymandering, and like it's just such bullshit. It is unbelievable. Yeah. That's why there's not also any voting in the church of this two-sided, John.
No,
everything.
No.
We're gonna have the laws written up on the walls to come in.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have many of them, and sometimes at some point we'll just erase them all and put all cultists are created equal, but some cultists are more equal than others.
We don't use the C word, John. Don't be such a cunt.
Separately, while the justices just last year overturned Roe v. Wade and allowed states to ban abortion, the court in April rejected a conservative-led effort to get a drug used in most common method as the most common method of abortion pulled from the market. They wanted to get it pulled from the market, and the justices allowed the drug mifepristone to stay on the market for now while a lawsuit proceeds.
Okay, that's good, right? Well, yes. A lawsuit proceeds. Like, I would just drugs are good. Okay, just take half now. See what it does in a couple hours, and take the other half. Wait, what are we talking about?
And even now, justices outside the Supreme Court have started publicly questioning some of these controversial rulings. Confusion over the U.S. Supreme Court's last gun rights ruling is likely to persist even after the justices decide a new Second Amendment case next term.
I don't know, man. That whole gun rights thing, I grew up with guns. I was around guns. But now it's like, there's no need for them. If you're out in the hills, if your property is county, I think, yes, you can have guns. And I think it should be just like I don't think handguns, man. Just have fucking rifles, single shot rifles and shotguns.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. You do away with them, it's a lot better.
Well, they're in a sticky situation. Next term in October, the justices will review a ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit striking down the federal ban on domestic abusers owning guns. So it struck down the federal ban on domestic abusers owning guns. It was the United States versus Rahimi, and they've sided with Rahimi. So, Rahimi has some odd bumps to it. Zakay Rahimi's legal troubles began in 2019 when he pulled out a gun and fired it at a passerby who witnessed him dragging his girlfriend through a parking lot.
Oh, shit.
It keeps going. Months later, after getting into an accident, Rahimi repeatedly shot at the other driver, court records show. A year later, he threatened another woman with a gun and was charged with aggravated assault. And in 2021, he fired several times into the air after a friend's credit card was declined at a burger joint near Fort Worth, Texas.
Well, I mean, okay, that one I understand. Like, I get it. We got shit service. The fries were cold. Burgers were just okay. And now you're going to bust my friend's balls about a credit card that's not. No. That calls for a discharge of firearms. Plus, you're in Texas, John. That's how you say thank you. So I'll let that one slide. But the rest are all bullshit.
So he is suing because he's challenging his conviction under a federal law that bars Americans who are subject to restraining orders from owning guns. And he says, no, I don't. Even if I have a restraining order, I should always be able to have a gun. It is the Second Amendment. And that's the case they're about to see with this very, very problematic person. But
Holy shit. We are so fucked, man. If you have to apply for the right to, we just gave the fellas the right, ex-cons, the right to apply to vote because you lost that right. That's a right that you have. You can't own a firearm. But you know what? You didn't do that bad of enough. It was just restraining orders and some charges that were stick. Like, come on, man. Come on. Ugh. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So with all this, the strain of the American public has been now noticeable. Over the past 5 years, trust in the Supreme Court to, quote, do the right thing all or most of the time has decreased by 10 percentage points among 18 to 29-year-olds, according to a recent poll with the Institute of Politics at Harvard Kennedy School.
It's turning into idiocracy. The Supreme Court's just going to be like, oh, it's a burger joint where you can watch people in robes wrestle. All right, you want to see the justice hammers come down upon thee? Yeah! Who ordered a large bucket of fries and some justice? Gotta make that somehow. I think it's entertainment at the highest levels.
Well, so post Roe v. Wade overturn, it seems there's a growing political awareness coming to the younger generation in a more direct way that hasn't happened in decades, not since the unearthing of falsities concerning America's response to 9/11, the Vietnam War, and even going back to the assassination of JFK. Many worry that these controversial decisions will tip our experiments of democracy over the edge, but a growing number of people believe that it will actually activate a generally dormant population of voters in the U.S. and will bring a new life to our sense, understanding, and appreciation for what democracy really is, especially how fragile it can be when neglected and left to the vultures.
Jesus, those people are crazy. If they think that, like, it's not, you're going to activate some voters, you're going to activate some crazy shit. Like, it's going to be crazy, John. Oof. Stay indoors. Run in a serpentine fashion. Oof, John. That's
I had a
something.
dream recently that I ran in a serpentine fashion. I think it was because of you. I think your advice is getting seeping into my subconscious.
Oh, I think that's the truth, but I also think that you kind of snake-like in your dreams. You slither.
Oh, that's true.
Oh man, fucking crazy.
Yeah, so that's a little check-in with our pals, the Supreme Court justices.
Hey, maybe crazy. There are crazy. Oof, John, oof. I don't know, man. Anytime but if you look across any country, any government, anything, there's just you hope for a good place with good laws, but sometimes they get a little crazy and a little invasive and a little overstepping. Like this is one of those things. Like, why do we have to? Yeah, if there's a problem like this, then yeah, we got to address it. But why are we going and finding problems and doing this on purpose to do a thing to set a precedent? Why can't we just get along, man?
Yeah,
just get along. Anyway, that makes me sad. John, cheers.
Cheers. Let's get ourselves happy again, huh?
We are the two-sided podcast. Holy shit. We are every Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 a.m. Greenwich Mean Sandwich time if you're across the pond on Wednesdays and Fridays. We're live on YouTube on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Pacific. You know what? All those times I just said. But if you can't catch us live, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Prime. John's reading messages. It makes me, he's like, he goes into a trance. Like, fuck, is your guest house possessed? What is happening? No. We're also on Patreon. And if you can find our Patreon link at Two-Sided Pod, all one word, all lowercase, and you can see some great content, some other stuff, some chats with us on Tuesdays, some behind the scenes action, and we'll give you John's address and a list of his fears, his mother's maiden name, and what times his shows are in Times Square. That's a promise.
That's a promise.
That's a promise. That's it's hot in here. It's hot in here. Is it getting drunk? It's getting drunk.
We got some messages, man. We got some messages. First, we got on the YouTubes, we got Joey saying, "Fuck, why you smoking, MFers?"
Fuck, why you smoking?
And it's his only redeeming quality. And I take it back. I take back the lazy, but that was out of line. The rest, I stand by. Okay, thanks, Joey. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Right? Right? Everything else, I stand by that. Draw the line in the sand somewhere. It moves. It stands the hourglass over the lines that I draw. Like signs through the hourglass, so are the lines that we draw. John. Let's pop some packets. Oof. Dub.
My man.
What's up, buddy? Dub.
Good to see you.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight. Damn straight. Take a shot. See? It's always the Thursday shows, John, I love, but they're a little tough. People come in like, oh shit, that's what you think about gun rights? That's what you think about? What? You want people to be equal? You want people to be safe? How fucking dare you? I know. I get very offensive. Oh, I lost my first cat.
That's right. He had to go.
I'm thinking old lumberjack style with a giant saw and two guys with overalls and plaid shirts. I don't know. It just seems more pleasant that way, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to need everyone to take John, were you there? Were you there? I don't know if you were there. Were you there when we drove to when Wes was here? Wes, Joey, Dave, Peter, Justin. We went and saw Corpse Bride, the cartoon, the claymation. No?
Yeah.
Were you here? You were there?
I don't think so. No. I know it, but I wasn't there.
We went and saw it in Ontario, and that was I gave everyone mushrooms. Like, it's fucking, everyone's like, yeah. So we get to Ontario, everyone eats mushrooms. Oh my god, they kick in like 15 minutes into the movie, right? The movie's done, like, you know, that 5 more hours of this. Find the game works and go have cocktails and start playing video games. So we're just like, stay there for a couple hours. Like, all right, we should get going. Like, I'm a little fucked up. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm fucked up. I'm kind of fucked up. Like, all right, well, who's gonna drive? Because we have 2 cars. Like, who's gonna drive? I think the only way to do it is we got to play Frogger and see who's the best. Whoever gets to play Frogger, they drive. Like, all right, sounds fair. And so we spent the next 45 minutes playing Frogger. It's like, no, fuck you, dude. That's 2 out of 3. Because everything I wanted to do. Like, you're driving, right? Like, oh, shit. No. It was great. It was fantastic. Allegedly.
Allegedly. All of that is allegedly.
Right? Okay, so you need to have a test, a litmus test. Who's going to drive the car? You got to play Frog. Who's going to cut the baby in half? You got to do the sobriety, walk the line, say the alphabet on one leg, thread this camel through the eye of a needle, get a rich man into heaven,
and become a saint.
Make the cursed wolf, part night man, and the cursed part hawk, part lady see the sun and the moon at the same time, so their curse is broken. All simple things to do. Great movie, though, right? You know what I'm talking about? Who else was in it? Matthew Broderick.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Shooting into the air because his credit was rejected.
No, because his credit bill was rejected. I would understand that. What? If it was at a burger joint, the whole credit bill didn't go through, then you could start shooting.
Right.
Oh, I am getting so drunk, I'm going to take my clothes off. What's up, babe? Hello,
Good morning.
Hello. Always a pleasure to see you, June Prunes. Always a pleasure, my dear.
Always. Well, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I think that's going to lead us directly into our next lightning round.
Lightning round! It's time to get down. Come on. Yeah. Woo! What's up, my boy Pete? What's up, John? How's the show going, baby? What you doing?
We're chugging right along. I think this is a good one. I think we're doing really great.
Yeah, no, I heard it. Everybody's got the groove back. It's like how bend it like Beckham, Stella gets a groove. Everybody has a good time, man. I love that shit. You guys you're on point for something special. Something special. Something. Man, is it drunk in here? I got drunk when it walked through the roof. Jesus Christ. I got to go back and sober up. You guys suck.
Bye, lightning round guy.
All right, guys, maybe drink coffee. Be better in life. Man, don't you disrespect us.
He's the boss of us.
Right? This guy always doing something. I know, right?
Well, anyway. 3, 2, 1. Well, anyway, this lightning round segment is one of your favorites and mine. That's right. It's the safe comedian. It's a safe comedian. This time, I'm going to be feeding my boy Pete different things to joke about in one big set. We're gonna just keep on going, and I'll just be the side coach, just riffing, just helping him along, helping him get through the set. It's solid five. You know.
Right. You know what I really like is John's been doing a lot of acting, coaching, and this I feel like is right in his wheelhouse, and I feel like we're gonna make it through just perfect, sailing on through, baby. I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So you have your audience of Congress and the Supreme Court, and okay. So talk Roe v. Wade. Go talk Roe v. Wade. Go.
Here's the deal, guys. It's great to see you all. Sotomayor, I see you. You can put your robe back on. I know. Pretty interesting here. Fun time. You're on summer break. You guys like parties. Well, I know a little bit about what you've been doing in your work time. That whole Roe v. Wade. Pretty good. I'll let you know one thing. One of the saddest movies I ever saw was Sophie's Choice. And I feel like if we nipped that in the bud early on, we wouldn't even have that movie. So
you're losing him. Go affirmative action.
You know who I hate? The Swedes. Yeah, that's right. Those guys suck. So what if they said, hey, my boy Pete, Swedes get in at half price to all your shows? Oh, that would just stick me. You guys know what I mean, right? It would just lead an unfair advantage. And I think you guys are kind of up along with it. I'm not sure where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing out here.
No, it's all right. You got him back. Look, them. They're loving it. Go student debt forgiveness. Trust me, this will nail it.
Okay. I think you're wrong. You're buying drinks after this. But speaking of, sorry, I just said he's buying drinks after this because, with these student loan debts, I can barely get arrested in this town. When I do, I can't make bail. Cash bail? No. Student loans. John's buying drinks. No, you guys, here's the deal. I personally think that Santa didn't give me what I wanted when I was a child. If I had the chance to stick it to Santa now, I would definitely do it. Because you have to pay what you owe, Santa. Pay what you owe. Can I get a ho, ho, ho? Nope, nothing.
No, you're great. Hey, stick the landing. Go in with the big guns. All right, talking prejudice against made-up gay couples wanting your service. Go.
You know who I hate? Please. You know what makes me hate them even more? When they pretend to be a gay couple getting married. And then, sir, that is where lawsuits are involved. Because when will the Swedes learn? First, they took our women. Apparently, he's married. There's no Mike in this situation. Then he takes our precious time with his court case. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and round this one out because I see it coming. It makes me so sad. A beautiful image, a beautiful painting, a beautiful work of art can be so blemished, can be so taken down. This is, oh God. This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
And that's all my boy Pete has. That's all the time he has. Thanks, everybody. You gotta go now.
Come on, they love that last one. Purple rain, purple rain. I'm the artist formerly known as my boy Pete. We'll see ourselves out. Please don't put your hands on us. Please don't put your hands on us.
I don't like being touched. I don't like being touched.
Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. Oh.
Well, let's pop these packets and do it.
Oh no. There's still a tooth fairy, I promise you that. Shit, we're gonna break him in one night. Well, now we're gonna have to send you videos from our lives.
Right. Well, let's do this final one, and then the rest of the messages that come.
All right, sounds good. You know, I didn't like Brits for a long time. I just didn't like a lot of different music till I would say, oh, I like all kinds of music. And I really didn't. Now I do. Now I'm like, yeah, Tibetan throat singing, love it. With the Gregorian chants, love it.
Yep.
New country, nah, keep on trucking. Okay, no, I still like that.
Well, speaking of music, let's do a shot, because this is something I know you've liked for a while, and I know you're going to be excited to talk about it.
Oh, baby shark, na 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 na. Baby shark, na na.
How'd you know? How'd you know?
I didn't get paid for that, Ron. Ridiculous. Cheers. Pink.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Because we're going to talk about Buddah is.
Oh shit. Israel. Buddah Israel. Kula Marwani. Buddah is. Ooh, love him. Love him. Love it.
Is Israel Buddah is Kamakavivo Ole was born on May 20th, 1959 in Honolulu on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. His parents were Evangeline Keel and Henry Tiny. Oh man, a name that I will butcher, so I'm not gonna do it.
Kau Elano no Pono. Well, yeah, it's a almost. No, I can't. It's like German. Like, good luck trying to sound out German, like Hebrew or Hawaiian.
Yeah,
phonetics does not help those.
Right. Yeah, but Kamaki. I even practice it. I practice it so much today. Kamaka Vivo Ole is the last name. This was at the end, May 20th of 59 was at the end of the era of Hawaii being a territory of the United States, as it was 3 months before the Hawaiian Islands would become America's 50th state. The native son of Buddah was a rare breed, an almost pure Hawaiian of unusual lineage. He could trace his ancestral roots to an island that even today remains the most Hawaiian of all. It's the so-called Forbidden Island of, I'm sure you could say it better than me. Niho? Niho? Ne'iho. And his last name translates in Hawaiian to the fearless eye, the bold face.
So amazing. The whole Hawaiian culture, John, is just, and he's saying so much about it. Like it was a history book. He was a history book with this beautiful voice, and ukulele, and just unbelievable. I wish I could have seen him live. Like, that's one of the people that I wish I could have seen live.
And he had huge stadium concerts, and many times it was just him and his uke.
Yep. Just one giant man and one tiny uke.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Is like you can have that kind of power. You can do so much with so little if you're good at it, your passion is in it, your heart's in it. Like, it's amazing what one human spirit can accomplish.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know, but none of us are as stupid as all of us. So if we get together, we can really do some damage. Huh?
So it certainly helped that his uncle was a musician and also starred in Hawaii Five-0. Yes, that man. But Buddah paved his own way. He would grow up to be the most celebrated Hawaiian, one of the most celebrated Hawaiian musicians in the world, and probably the very most celebrated in the modern era. Most famous for a widely played rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Buddah's gentle ukulele playing and a hauntingly beautiful voice made him a musical legend in Hawaii and across the world.
Stunning, man. Just, I learned about him when we were in Arizona, and lucky, half Samoan, half Mexican, was all about island life, and like I've been out to Hawaii for so much, and like had all the tattoos, had things, and we'd go to the not Rogers, whatever the lake was out there, and he'd take his skimboard, and we'd go out and listen to island music and drink jugs of wine and skimboard on the lake, like, and do like beach life in the middle of fucking Arizona. It was so cool and so different. Like, oof, because I hadn't had beach life either, and I'm getting it in Arizona, right? So it hooked in a weird way.
Yeah, totally. And it would be just a couple of years later, because in Arizona is when you introduced me to Buddah. Facing Future is definitely the first album of his that I came across through you.
Right? So amazing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at that point you can. That was great, but what about the Dixie Chicks? Because I was really into the Dixie Chicks too.
Hey, please. They prefer to be just the chicks these days. Just the chicks.
Well, run, cowboy, run. Okay, go.
So his first taste in performing was at the Steamboats in Waikiki, where his father was a bouncer and his mother was the manager. He got to meet everybody and spend his time with Gabby Pahinui and the Sons of Hawaii. As early as 10 years old, they would call him on stage with his uke, and Israel won the admiration and praise of his elders, and the musicians thought Israel was something special. At that time, they just called him the kid with the ukulele. That was his first loving nickname.
So amazing. But just growing up, because it's like living in a vacation life. You know, you're on the beach now. I just came from the beach, and you see there's like all these people on vacation, but the people who are locals. Like, I want to get to know them. I want to party with these guys. This is your day to day. What is your world like? I wake up. Let's go surf for a minute. Come back, play some guitar and smoke weed on my patio, and then go to work. what is work? How do I get that fucking job?
Right. So at 17, having gotten into a little bit of trouble, he decided to move to Oahu's Wa'ani's coast in Makaha. And there he formed the Makaha Sons with his brother Skippy, their cousin, and two others. Despite dropping out of high school and becoming dependent on drugs and alcohol at this time, he found himself at a graduation party where most of his peers heard him sing for the very first time. His friend Del Beasley had never forgotten that moment. Quote, as soon as Buddah is, he said his real name, but his full name, but Buddah is opened his mouth and sang, that whole place went quiet, said Beasley. Every great singer has something special. It's almost a nasal or head tone, and that thing just cut right through the air, stopped everybody in their tracks.
Dude, there's so, well, you walk around New York, you walk around LA, and there's just people like the buskers,
Yeah, totally.
The people who are the street musicians, and something like, yeah, everyone's good. Like it's the one or two people like, oh god damn, you're so horrible, but like, you're just trying to do anything you can right at this point. But the ones who are really good, you start to get calloused on them. Like, yeah, okay, heard that, and you like, what? And you hear someone like, and it makes you stop, and like you see crowds of people forming around in the subway, crowds of people stopping and not crossing the street and listening for two lights. Like, holy shit. It's that kind of thing.
People missing their train because they're like, I'll get the next one or the two after because I want to finish these songs with, hear this person.
Right. Right. Just like, I don't know, man. That's a special thing. I think that music, especially, I've seen some acting done on the street and like, oh, that's just fucking sad. That's the worst. Hey, you guys like mime? No? Well, that's worse than mine. Why? Because I'm talking and I'm yelling at you when you walk away. Bad. Real bad.
So together, the Makaha Sons of Ni'ihau band, they made 21 albums between 1976 and 91. This is where Buddah comes in, the nickname, and it was prolific. He made several albums solo, but nothing compared to these 21 albums. As you said, it's a history lesson. It is preservation of Hawaiian traditional music and using it in modern ways, but not turning it commercial, not turning it into pop or anything like that, but truly being the next generation of the Hawaiian singers. This is where the most prolific output came.
Which is, it's stunning when you list as someone, a cultural icon of any culture. If you listen to their artists, people who are good, it's like you can hear that in any culture. You can hear that. I was listening to a lot of French rap for a while, and it's like, okay, and you pick up words about what their history is, and like, oh, this is about the revolution. This is about going to the bakery on their local neighborhood. This is in their neighborhood. It's like, okay, but it gives you a sense of, it's like, John, dare I say, international 8 Mile?
Yes. Yeah.
Spaghetti. Yeah.
So his brother Skippy died of obesity-related heart attack in 1982, and this started to cause the Makaha Sons to slow down, and eventually they disbanded in 91. But that same year, Israel married his longtime sweetheart, Marlene Ku'upo. They had one daughter, Cecily Ann, who they called Wehi.
So cute. She was such a cute little baby.
Yeah.
Did you see pictures of her? When you were looking them up?
Oh, totally.
So cute.
Oh, and him holding her, especially, like it's just this mass around this beautiful little baby.
Which is, it's that same picture you see all like people who, the fucking sepia tone pictures that like, oh, we're having a baby, and it's like, here's the one of the mom with her belly out, and the next one is like the dad with the baby in his hand. Look how small she is. that thing. But it's like anytime you touch your child, just like, baby girl, go on play. You are huge.
So in 1988, Buddah is recorded the most famous song of his repertoire. Israel alone plays his ukulele and sings a combination of two popular songs, the words sung out of order and altered, which some music critics say speak to his longing for Hawaiian independence. It was 2:30 a.m. when he called a recording engineer, Milan Bertosa, from a payphone at Sparky's Bar, a notorious hub of Honolulu's cocaine trade, and kindly requested an audience.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're like, oh, he was longing for this. His soul yearned for independence. Like, no, man, you forgot the words, but you're a goddamn professional, so you moved right along. It's amazing. It's amazing. The true version, the original recording, is such an amazing recording.
Yeah. So he answered the phone. Please, can I come in? He pleaded. I got this idea. And so the song was recorded that night, not released in that form for another 5 years, because they did put it on his first solo album in 1990, 2 years later, but it was with full instruments brought in and changed. And so it wasn't
bullshit.
right.
I do not like that song. That's the one a lot of jukebox have. That if you're going on like, oh, look, they have Is, and you play that, like, oh no.
Oh no.
Like, oh no. I guess I'm buying drinks.
But Bertosa knew that this was an impossibly beautiful song in its original rendition, so he put it on the tail end, third to last track of his second album, which was Facing Future. Bertosa recalled, it was just that special. Whatever was going on that night, he was inspired. It was like we just caught the moment. The track we hear today was done in one take around 4 a.m. that night.
Holy shit. John.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the 4 a.m. But one take at 4 a.m. is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. One take at 4 p.m. is ridiculous.
One take is ridiculous. I recorded the CD I recorded that I had my friend who was like, there's no effects, no anything. And she was like, oh, play, record. Like, she couldn't dub. She couldn't find this spot and do that. Like, oh, you mess up the chorus. You like, nope. Go back. Let's do it again. Yeah. That took 6 hours. And it's like, I'm not even drinking. This is stupid.
Yeah. So this one song is the best-selling piece of Hawaiian music of all time. Not only did it propel the album Facing Future to become the first Hawaiian album to eclipse 1 million in sales, the song has a bona fide hit in several countries, appeared in numerous TV and film soundtracks, as well as in commercials, and sold well over 2 million downloads. And that song would be requested on stage at every single show until Buddah Is's death.
I wonder if he got sick of it, you know?
Possibly.
That's the whole thing. Like, I'm not playing that song.
Yeah.
Play Smelly Cat. I'm not playing Smelly Cat.
So, Facing Future remains the top-selling Hawaiian music album in the world, and in 2002, that's when it was certified gold, the first for a Hawaiian record label. In 2005, it was then platinum, and with that, Alone in Is World was then certified gold. And so this album was actually starting to bring up his other albums that he made both in his life and that were released posthumously. With each passing year, Iz's presence in the music industry and the sales of his recordings continue to grow despite the trends that surround the industry.
Grassroots, baby. Like, stay true to what you're doing, and you're gonna hit those marks. I don't know, but you're not going to grow as exponentially. You're not going to be on those levels, but you're going to continue to grow.
Right. Yeah.
At least that's what they say.
In addition to that, he was an activist and really helped to lift the voice of the Hawaiian people overall. His advocacy for Hawaiian sovereignty in any number of ways was noticed by everybody. The song Hawaii 78, which is the first track on Facing Future, and the song Living in a Sovereign Land are both songs of protest. He gave Hawaiian...
As was living in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
Living in America. Hot man. Him dead. Him's him. Him dead. I'm having these flashes now. Time traveling. Ready, go.
All right. So he gave the Hawaiian flag pride of place on the cover of his 95 album, I Ala'i. He spoke with bitterness about the displacement of Native Hawaiians in interviews, drawing an explicit connection between Hawaiians' dispossession of their native land and his own emotional health. So yeah, he was an advocate. As soon as he had a voice, he was using that voice constantly to grow awareness of, like he said, the displacement of land, the displacement of culture, the disintegration of culture because of the commercialization.
Right. And damn it, John. We treated them like truly like American Indians, the same way. Like, you didn't get a state. We took your state and you get a casino. We took your culture and you have cultural burial grounds, and you don't have homeland sovereignty. I don't know. It's just so fucked.
Well, towards the end of his life, Budah's weight became unsustainable. He was unable to perform and carried an oxygen tank with him. He frequently stayed in the hospital where friends smuggled him Oreos despite his brother's early death. And also despite an increasing need for a forklift to get on stage, he carried an inner peace that never left. Quote, "I'm not scared for myself for dying," he said, "because we Hawaiians, we live in both worlds. When our time comes, don't cry for me."
Right? Right? Man, this whole thing, man. If people would look at him like, why do you get like that? How did you let yourself go like that? Like, but when you're physically fucked, you're mentally fucked, and then it leads to more physical fucked. It's a whole fucking fuckaroo, John.
It is. It really is.
The clinical term is your shit's fucked up. So I think you need to stop. Like, yeah. Oh, that's all? John,
right, that's it? Oh, thanks, Doc.
First time I ever went to a therapist, they said, when you start getting mad, just tell yourself not to get mad. It's like, oh, you son of a bitch. That's all it takes? Oh, my God. That was another therapy session because I stabbed him with his pen. No, allegedly.
Allegedly. So Buddah was 6'2" and obese his entire life. He weighed over 1,000 pounds in 1997, and he hovered around 750 for most of his life. On June 26, 1997, the Honolulu Star-Register announced that Buddah the voice of Hawaii, had died at just 38. The cause of death was a respiratory failure.
Oh, it's so tragic. So tragic, man. It's just, he was amazing. Anyone, if nothing else from this show, go out and listen to Buddah. I know you've all heard this one song, but future
so
album, like there's so much out there.
Facing Future is a fantastic album, and it gets that one song. So if you want to hear that song, you'll still hear it.
Right, but it also has. He did a rip of Almost Heaven, West Kala'a, Island mountains, crystal clear blue water. All my friends here singing on the beach, eating all the fresh fish we catch from the sea. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Kala, Mama, take me home. Oh, country roads, something like that. But it was off that, but it was all in Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so beautiful.
So good.
So
fucking good.
crying callers phoned in to KCCN FM radio for hours, and his family and friends built a casket with wood from all of the islands. Every one of them. At the public memorial celebration 2 weeks later, more than 10,000 mourners descended on the Capitol building of Honolulu, and as a writer for the local Star Bulletin newspaper wrote, quote, stood for hours in their slippers, which is flip-flops, that's just what they call them in Hawaii, in a shoulder-locked crowd for a pass-by glimpse of the body of this gentle giant in a koa casket beneath the 50-foot Hawaiian flag. People of all ages, Hawaiians and their friends of all ethnic groups, paid tribute to the entertainer whom they felt they knew and whose songs played in their hearts. End quote.
Oof, John, that makes me a little verklempt.
Yeah, me too, man.
No?
I didn't read it out loud when I was putting that out. I was like, oh, that's a good quote. And I moved on. I was like, oh crap, oh man.
Because you can see it in your mind's eye. That's a good writer. Like and it's different. I don't know. It's not a public figure. It's not a national figure. I have to be seen doing this thing. It's like,
right.
This is speaking for my heart and my soul and my people. Like, truly a generation.
Yeah. On the day of his funeral, so that was the memorial, on his funeral, the flag flew at half-mast. About 10,000 people gathered in the ocean to watch his ashes be paddled to Makua Beach. Israel Kamakawiwo'ole's death made for a day of mourning for what seemed like all of Hawaii. Hundreds paddled alongside his ashes as the respectful air horns from trucks on land echoed across waters, and Buddah Iz's ashes were scattered.
Oof. Back to the sea, back to the sea.
That medley of Over the Rainbow and What a Wonderful World was added to the National Recordings Registry on March 24th, 2021. The Library of Congress, which oversees this registry, called the medley, quote, melancholic and joyous at once, and praised Buddah Iz's vision of, quote, contemporary Hawaiian music that fused reggae, jazz, and traditional Hawaiian sound.
Well, fuck the Library of Congress, number one. Their thoughts on music. Number two, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys, if there's ever a whole nuclear war, number one, come find me at the compound. Number two, we're going to have to go to the Library of Congress and to the mountain vaults to go get all the music we'll listen to. That's how we survive. We get the music in our ears, we get the pep in our step, we start killing the mutants on the field. Guys, it's a whole 3-part plan.
So, to wrap up, now, decades after his passing, Buddah Iz's cover mashup of Wonderful World and Somewhere Over the Rainbow has been co-opted for Rice Krispies and cologne commercials, TV shows, and even movies. Meet Joe Black is one of them. And to this day, it is still played on loop in basically any touristy shop on any island of Hawaii.
As long as Andy Warhol gets his beak wet. Wait, no. I'm saying the estate of Buddah Iz, like, yeah, keep playing that. Keep playing that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And everyone, do keep playing it. Give them those residuals. What is it? Not residuals.
Residuals.
Royalties. Give them those royalties.
In perpetuity. Folks,
in
the word
perpetuity.
For the day, perpetuity. If you have perpetuity on your bingo card, go ahead and hit that fuck you, John, middle square. Everyone gets one free. Perpetuity is top right. I-69, Woo!
Woo! Sources for this episode of Two Sided have been, first segment, USA Today, The Washington Post, NBC News, Associated Press, Forbes Magazine, Bloomberg Law Magazine, Reuters, New York One, and the New York Times. Second segment, Ukulele Magazine, liveabout.com, allthat'sinteresting.com, ishawaii.com, the official website of Buddah is izhawaii.com. Check it out. And Aina Momona, which is a native Hawaiian not-for-profit organization. And finally, the Hawaii Tribute Herald.
Okay, well, I feel like we're all making leaps and bounds in our whole presentation experience today. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't have any, John. I shoot from the hip. I know nothing about nothing. I'm a man about town with no agenda. Let's party.
Man, I've been wanting to do that last one for a hot minute. I'm glad.
That's a great one, man. That's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a great one. That was one of my favorites. Like, I knew most of that stuff, but there was stuff I didn't know. I love it. That was great. Good job, John. Fucking good job, bro. Everybody, put your hands in the air. Wave them all around like you don't fucking care. Careful, because but then everyone shake them around because deaf people might be clapping too somewhere.
Well, I say let's cheers to that. Let's cheers to Buddah is.
Yeah, I'll drink to that. Folks, everybody put that on your list. Get your two-sided notepads, because apparently we have those in the go bags now.
Yeah.
Because we're a learned podcast. John said we need to get on the NPR. And we have to start selling notepads, John. It's a must. Anyway, write down Buddah is and put that in your ear holes. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Pete, before we go, is there anything from this episode that you'd like to take a second glance at, a second look, a second thought, a second opinion? This is Pete's Retraction Corner.
There's a lot, John. There's a goddamn lot, because you're bringing different heat to the game these days. I'm playing early game with you. I'm playing the old pickleball, and you're throwing the old wobbly in cricket. So I need to get with the times. I'm no longer beach fair. This is a sport that people watch, John. I need to get with it. I am the one who's faltering. I will pick up my slack. That's what my retraction is. Everything I did wrong.
I just want to take that in for a second.
Yeah. No. This has been 2 in a row. The fucking my vacation and then your vacation has done us good. You, sir. You, sir, are good. Like, this was a good topic. Good John. Great ginger hole. Everything you can imagine.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We have our open chat show. We have an open chat show live on stereo every Tuesday at our usual start time. So if you want to join us or you want to throw some topics out there, email twosidedpod@gmail.com. That's TWO sidedpod@gmail.com. And for those listening live on the stereo app, stick around in this room for continued chats in the green room right now for our after show wind down. That's a wrap for tonight. I'm John L. Peacock out in Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm my boy Pete, and no, you are not in Southern California.
That's true. And this was our show. I'm just reading at this point. You can eavesdrop.
I know.
Muscle memory. And you can eavesdrop wherever you get your podcast and even join us live.
Back to the left. Back
into the left. Live both on our YouTube channel, handle @2sidedpod, TWO sided pod, all one word, and the stereo app. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, as we talk about the two sides of life, the serious and the fun. You're on Two Sided. All right, love you, Pete.
Love you, John. Good show, man. Oh.